They do this all the time. So these are not done to people with means. These are things that are done to people that aren't quite fitting in, the marginalized members of the community. And that's what I'm out here to defend. I have not heard that they removed the policy. I have heard from other activists, in particular Frank Sturgill, who's communicated with the RTD board of directors, and they're done with the barefoot policy. And you may or may not be aware that actually a number of months ago, back in October, maybe even September, RTD actually came out to a bus that had stopped because of my bare feet and said, you're allowed to ride the buses with no shoes. So they've not officially made the policy change, but they have effectively made the policy change. And I'm looking forward to the black and white change to come very soon. Thank you very much.
How do you feel about the $100 fine?
Rogers instituted a $100 fine so that I wouldn't appeal the case.
That is wise, isn't it?
Probably.
I mean,
yeah.
Only smart thing I've ever seen him do, I guess.
Well, he was on his best behavior this whole meeting, this whole ordeal, and which is quite fascinating to me to see him actually being a judge. I mean, I've never seen that before, really. And but you know, there's a lot of history with Rogers. You know that. Your family has history with Rogers. Your family has pretty much the example of Rogers. The entire Colorado 8, the so-called paper terrorists, all started in Gilpin County with Judge Rogers, and I don't know if people know that, but one of the martyrs, David Kofeld, there's a bunch of people that will never see the light of day again. Not because they created a disturbance, not because of homicide or arson or burglary.
What did they do?
They tried to force judges like Rogers to file his oath of office, which he didn't do.
And then they were found...
And they went to prison for like 96 years, and they're in their 70s, so they're never going to see the light of day again unless they prevail on their appeals, which, because they're appealing to judges about decisions made by judges about judges' misbehavior, I'm not holding out a lot of hope for those people.
So the city thought 800 hours was a good trade for $100. 800 hours, 800 hours of community service. And they wanted to tell you exactly where you could do it.
Yeah, and she wanted to tell me where I had to do it. So the city is not interested in free speech. I thought it was interesting that Rogers did. I put him in jail, that didn't work. I fined him, that didn't work. He's done community service, that didn't. He's on a diversion, that didn't work. There's nothing that the people can do to safeguard the public from Eric Brandt's crime spree. So $100 is appropriate.
It was awesome.
Because it's not worth appealing $100, right? Or is it?
But you can or can't?
Oh, I can.
Oh, right. Okay.
Absolutely, I can.
So it doesn't depend, right? No, you work.
My decision whether or not I'm going to appeal is going to be made carefully. I do have 35 days to file my notice of appeal. I may or may not file a notice of appeal, and I'll probably file the notice of appeal because it'll take longer than that to figure out what I desire to do and to figure out what the legalities are. I don't know what the legalities are going to be. And that's why we have lawyers that know the law that I can work with to do that. I do value working with my lawyers.
What's Mr. Lane say? You haven't had a chance to talk about it yet.
Mr. Lane and I have spoken about it a little bit, and I'm not at liberty to discuss that legal strategy at this time.
Thank you.
Right? So we'll see. You know, civil rights resources are extraordinarily rare. They're very, very limited, right? We put a lot of money into prosecutions. We put a lot of money into defenses. We put a lot of money into public safety, into courts, into law enforcement. We put a lot of money into this, but the resources for civil rights violations are very rare. If you have means, you don't have civil rights problems. Well, yeah, that's Eric Reese.
Who?
He's a prostituting attorney of the highest order.
I thought
so. You know what Lane said, we put our lives on the line for this work, and we do. We do. Look at the Colorado 8, right? The city tried to justify this long jail sentence at 800 hours of community service. That's a half-time job, right? That's 20 hours a week. Because Eric Brandt stopped a bus. Well, no, the driver's job is to drive. She could have pushed the emergency button. She didn't. Her fellow officer said, oh, flag guy, it's you. Yeah, drive on, you'll be fine. right? Oh, we better put Mr. Brandt in jail and tie up all of his time, you guys, because the cops didn't just come on and throw him to the fucking ground and repeatedly try and trip him. That's why gun salts didn't take the stand, is because they're like, fuck, he's got us there. And then Summer Days said, oh, that would be an abuse. That would be excessive force. So don't think that I'm done with this case, right? But I might be done with that cause. So we'll see how we proceed. There are still a lot of forks available in this road. And I can't wait to see how this is going to pan out. I'm not going to wear shoes, though.
We're barefoot today.
I did donate my socks to the prosecuting attorneys as mementos.
Did you sign them?
I didn't sign them. I just dropped them on her chair.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's about to snap. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'll get over it. I'll get over it.
That's it here. Colorado Donkey Watch. Eric Brandt was found guilty today of disturbing the peace, sentenced to a $100 fine. Have a good one.